Hey everyone, welcome back to Topher Drives and welcome to the 2023 BMW M2. I'm out here at Road America, if you haven't already been able to tell. It's a bit windy and I do apologize, but I am finally getting a chance to get behind the wheel of the new M2 with a 6-speed manual transmission. I have been so jealous of my colleagues, TheTopher and Charlie from Daily Motor, that have already gotten their hands on this M2 and have been dying to know what it's like to drive. So you're gonna get my raw first impressions here today on this car. We're just gonna go for a super short drive. I only have a limited amount of time with this car, and we will have one of these back at home in Michigan at some point. But I wanted to go out and just share my first impressions drive with you all and just kind of have a good time. I, unlike most, and I'm going to get out of this wind in a second, we're just going to do a quick walk around. I, unlike most, am actually a pretty big fan of the way that this new M2 looks. It looks so much worse in photos and videos, so I apologize back home you aren't in here with me in person seeing the car, but I actually really like the way that this car looks, especially in this some sort of blue color here. And we gotta get in the car. So visualize it now. It's so windy, we just gotta hop in or else you won't be able to hear anything that I have to say. Whew. Okay, that's better. So, under the hood of this BMW M2, we have the S58 inline 6 producing 453 horsepower, 406 pound-feet of torque, and that is set to either an 8-speed automatic or, like this car has, a 6-speed manual. It's nice that BMW has kept manuals around for quite a few of their M cars, M2, M3, and M4. You can still have them all with a manual. So let's fire this thing up. Shifter feels pretty nice. Honestly, it feels a little less gummy than other BMW manual transmission shifters, so that is a good initial sign. Otherwise, normal 2 Series stuff in here. We have a cognac interior in this car. You can also have it with those crazy M carbon.
Could you try again?
Oh, I wasn't speaking to you. I'm sorry, Siri. You can also have it with the crazy M carbon bucket seats, but I kind of like that in this configuration we just have some regular comfortable seats, because that's what the M2 is about. It's a car that you can use every day and take to Road America or wherever your local track is on the weekends. But I think prioritizing everyday comfort is going to be more important in a car like the M2. So I'm glad we have these seats for me to try out today. They feel quite nice. Let's actually take a look at the Monroney, because I do have it right here. Zandvoort Blue, and I apologize if I butchered that if you are German. Also, we have the cognac interior, Shadowline package, lighting package. We have the 50th anniversary emblems, which you all saw on the outside. We have carbon fiber trim in here. Looks quite nice. We also have the heads-up display, as you can see up there. You should be able to see that on camera. And total price $66,245. That is with destination and everything. The biggest struggle for me with the M2 has always been, is it worth it to spend just a little bit less and get the M2 over the M4, or should you just spend like a few $1,000s more and have a base model M4? So I don't really know. Some of the feedback I've been getting about this car, a lot of people are saying it's a bit heavy and it feels too similar to the M4. So I am excited to finally go and get my own impressions on this car, because I've been hearing everything from everyone else. So without further ado, and since I have limited time, we'll do a more in-depth drive of this car once we have it back in Michigan. But I just want to go out and see what this thing is like, because I have just been dying to drive it. So here we go. Clutch feel is nice. You know what we should do actually before we get too far is set up our M2 mode, because it looks like right now it isn't set for anything. So let's, and that's probably on purpose because of all of the different people that are at, yeah, it's in like efficient. So we're gonna go Sport Plus for the engine, gear, rev matching on, chassis, we're gonna leave that in comfort. And we're going to leave steering in comfort as well, comfort brakes, and we're going to go DSC. Should we go MDM? Yeah, we'll go MDM. And we'll leave traction control there right in the middle. M sound on. You can hear that difference there, just at idle. Okay, cool. So now when we go into M2, we have to hold to confirm, and that will allow us to make some noise. Okay, let's just start in a regular mode and see what this thing is like to drive. Pretty good clutch feel and shifter feel, honestly. The car weighs 3,800 pounds, which is kind of heavy, I will say, for a 2 Series, but it does still feel pretty light, just kind of maneuvering it around at low speeds in a parking lot. Shifter feel is quite nice. They've improved on this a little bit. I wasn't a big fan of the shifter in the M4 that I drove a couple of years ago. I'll have to do that in M2 mode on the way back in. Wave to our lovely Road America staff. All right, and we're just gonna drive this normally for the first couple of minutes here. Oh yeah, that's really quick. That's quite nice. Okay. So just cruising here in the M2. It's quite quiet. That's no fun. Let's make some noise. Now we are on some cold tires and it is only 55 degrees outside, so we're going to take it somewhat easy here. I can tell this thing is an absolute rocket. I mean, you put the S58 in the smallest M car. It used to be different motors in the M2 and the M3 and M4, and then they switched that when they introduced the last generation M2 competition. They've just kind of stuck with that for this newest generation. So, oh God, yeah, this is amazing. Oh dear. I'm sure there are no Federales around. Oh, and there is a Federale literally right there. So we're gonna take it real easy. I feel like I manifested that or something. But even without giving her the beans right here, you all could hear the noise from that S58, and he is coming behind me. I don't really think I did anything wrong. Oh no, he's turning to go and get somebody else maybe, or to sit perched. So we're actually at the MAMA rally right now. MAMA standing for Midwest Automotive Media Association, I think. Pretty sure that's what it stands for. Anyways, we're out here at this MAMA rally right now. There's like 90 cars here, and including the Lucid Air, as you can see going by right now. And it's just a bunch of us YouTubers and journalists out here driving these cars around Elkhart Lake. You can also drive on track. They've got an off-road course, all sorts of different options for us out here. So the police have been lingering because they know we're out here, of course. So just gotta keep an eye out for Selena and be responsible. Yeah, this thing's a missile. I mean, we haven't even gotten it to like 6,000 RPM yet. Yeah, it's, wow, yeah, the steering's super direct. No, I prefer this over the M4. It feels less gummy. Yeah, that's really quick. It feels decently stable. MDM allows the car to have a little bit of slip without you hopefully not doing a 180 or anything like that, but I mean, this car feels pretty dialed. I mean, it feels agile enough. That's where I usually turn, but I'm gonna go up here a little bit. We've run into some friends. What do we have? We have the new Prius, and we have the Alfa Romeo Stelvio, which I just got out of, actually. Okay, so overall, I mean, this is obviously very baseline, very raw first impressions on this thing, but I quite like it. I enjoy it. I can kind of see it's the whole M lineup is a little bit. And that Stelvio is following very close to that Prius. We are not going to mimic that driving style. I'm going to give them plenty of room. Okay, so overall, obviously this is like very raw first impressions. I've driven the car about 4 miles, but I think it does feel light enough. It's tough between the M2 and the M4 because, of course, the M4 is essentially the modern two-door M3. They switched everything a number of years back. I don't really need to tell you that. But the M2 is a bit of a newer entry. This is only the 2nd generation of this car. I suppose you could argue that the 1M kind of acted as the 1st generation, but we won't count that today. But it's tough to justify the M4 when you have the M2, if that makes sense. So BMW has to make this car worse in a way, but what ends up happening is the M2 ends up being the enthusiast choice. And I'm kind of still feeling that DNA here in this M2. Charlie was going on about how it's heavy and it's a soulless missile, and BMW M cars are not like they used to be. They don't have the character and the soul of, say, an E36 M3 anymore. Those days are gone. Everything's more so about numbers and lap times and things like that. And BMW just has to cater to their market, and the dentists like to go fast around a track, so that's what they have to do. But I'm still feeling a bit of that enthusiast DNA here in this M2, and I'm looking forward to spending some more time with it. Yeah, it's like really, it's properly quick. Yeah, okay. So anyways, since traditionally on my Topher Drives channel here, I talk about things other than just the car. This is nice to be out here just kind of driving a bunch of vehicles. This morning I drove a Alfa Romeo Tonale, which is the new little crossover from Alfa. And it was okay. Thought about filming it for the channel, but then I went out and filmed it for Winding Road and I just didn't get the fizz, so I was really hoping for a little bit more from that car. But I'm enjoying the M2. Okay, let's try launch control. We're in a bit of an uphill right now, we'll keep that in mind. Yeah, that's extreme. I mean, that's a great launch control. It hardly even spun the wheels. I am minorly lost at this point. I'm gonna go this way. I mean, worst case scenario, I just keep driving the M2, so whatever. This is a neighborhood, so we're gonna be nice and polite for all of the residents. This might be my favorite BMW shifter at this point. And if it's the same shifter as the M4, I do apologize. But to me, in this moment, it feels better. So there you go. I wonder if this can... Hey, BMW. Navigate to Road America. I love getting lost.
Just a moment. I am compiling the results.
Road America, thinks I said.
I have found.
Yes. Give me this. Yes. Am I going in the correct direction? Yes, I am, but why is the map facing that way? I don't know. Oh yeah, no, we're good. This is right. Okay, we're gonna cancel the guidance. Cancel the guidance. Cancel right. All right, guys. Well, that's going to pretty much wrap it up here for us in the M2. Overall, I mean, what can I say? I'm happy with it. I've spent 15 minutes in the car and I had a good time. Do I wish it was slightly smaller and maybe had a little bit less power and was more enthusiast focused? Yes. But is it still quite a lot of fun? Yes, it is. And you can't blame BMW for tailoring to their customer base, and I think this car is actually going to do really well for them. So it could, I don't know. I can see the appeal to someone like a dentist with this car, and I can also see an enthusiast enjoying this thing quite a bit. Gotta do that. Well, thank you all for joining me on my first ever drive in the new M2. I'm gonna go to bed tonight, I'm gonna think about it, and we'll get you some better impressions when I can get back behind the wheel of another M2. But lots of just oohs and ahs and launch control, and yeah. So if you've made it this far, thank you all so much for watching, and well, we'll see you in the next one. I don't know what I'm gonna drive next, so I'm gonna go find something and head over to the Winding Road Magazine channel if you want to watch some nice, relaxing ASMR drives of some new cars. But that'll wrap it up for me on the Topher Drives channel with the new M2. So we'll see you all in the next one. Take care.